Imagine this. It's night. Everything is quiet. Outside, the trees and houses are asleep. Even the dogs in the yard have gone silent. But right at that moment, you open your eyes again. Your sleep is broken. The body still feels heavy, your head is foggy, but the habit is stronger. You slowly get up, slip into your slippers, walk across the cool floor, and head to the bathroom. Sounds familiar? Many people over 50 or 60 deal with this problem. But be honest, how many times in the past few months have you caught yourself thinking, it's just age, everyone lives like this? The truth is, almost every second adult over 60 wakes up at least a few times a night, once or twice a week. Some people see it as unavoidable, others get used to it. But very few stop to think, these nightly awakenings aren't just an inconvenience, they're a signal that your body is trying to say something in your lifestyle or health isn't quite right. And here's the most important part. This is not a life sentence, and it's not some natural law of aging. In most cases, these nighttime trips to the bathroom are tied to habits we've been reinforcing for years without even realizing it. In this video, I want to show you that waking up at night is not just part of getting older. It's the result of very specific reasons. And if you change even a few of those habits, you can get back your deep, restful sleep and wake up feeling fresh and energized, not drained and exhausted. In the coming minutes, we'll go through together what's actually happening inside your body at night, why these awakenings aren't as harmless as they might seem, and most importantly, which habits are letting you down and how you can gently replace them with better ones. But for now, let me ask you a question. Write in the comments. How many times a night do you usually wake up to use the bathroom? Once? Twice? 3 times? Maybe even more? This detail matters a lot, and trust me, you're not alone. So now let's take it step by step and figure out what's really happening in your body at night. To understand why we wake up so often at night, we need to take a closer look at the sleep process itself. Our sleep isn't just a period of rest when the brain shuts down. On the contrary, it's during the night that the body activates dozens of recovery processes. Cells renew, the brain sorts memories, and the immune system checks if everything is in order. There's one very important detail. At night, the body switches into a special energy-saving mode. The heart beats more slowly, breathing becomes deeper, and body temperature drops slightly. All of this is necessary for us to pass through the deep phases of sleep. But at the same time, kidney function changes. During the day, they filter more fluids to remove waste. At night, the body essentially tells them, rest now, preserving sleep is more important. To make this happen, the body produces a special hormone, vasopressin. It literally instructs the kidneys to slow down and retain more fluid so the bladder doesn't fill up every couple of hours. In a healthy adult, this mechanism works like clockwork. That's why children and young adults can sleep 7 to 8 hours straight without waking up. But as we age, something starts to go wrong. And there are several reasons. Sometimes the body produces less vasopressin, sometimes the bladder becomes more sensitive, and most often we ourselves disrupt the natural balance through our habits. It's these habits that make the kidneys continue working at almost the same pace at night as during the day. As a result, the bladder fills faster, and the brain gets the signal. Wake up. Here's an important point. Each nighttime awakening isn't just a matter of going to the bathroom and falling back asleep. Sleep is interrupted at critical moments when the brain is in a phase of deep recovery. Did you know that during REM sleep, the brain strengthens memory, processes emotions, and even regulates hormone levels? Constantly waking up at this time prevents the body from fully restoring itself. That's why many people who wake up often at night complain not only of fatigue but also of poor memory, irritability, blood pressure spikes, reduced immunity. In other words, a single little nighttime bathroom trip triggers a chain reaction that disrupts the quality of the entire next day. And here's the most surprising part. In more than 80 of cases, this isn't a disease. It's simply the result of small lifestyle mistakes. An extra cup of tea before bed, a late dinner, an uncomfortable sleeping position, pajamas that are too warm, or the habit of going to the bathroom just in case. It may seem minor, but when combined, these small factors can turn into a big problem. The good news is, all of this can be changed without medication, surgery, or complicated procedures, simply by gently adjusting your habits. In the following chapters, I'll go into detail about which habits most often interfere with sleep and how to replace them. But before that, let's break down why nighttime awakenings are far from the harmless thing many people think they are. I hear the same phrase all the time. Well, what can you do? We're getting older. At my age, it's normal to get up at night. This is exactly where the main mistake lies. We get so used to inconveniences that we start seeing them as a natural part of life. But let's be honest, is it really normal? In medicine, nighttime awakenings to urinate are called nocturia. If it happens once a night, doctors still consider it acceptable. But 2, 3, or even more times, that's already a warning sign. Why? Because every time we get up, the sleep cycle is disrupted. Sleep consists of phases, light, deep, and REM. The body switches between them several times a night. Deep and REM sleep are responsible for recovery. If we constantly pull ourselves out of these phases, the brain and body don't get the rest they need. And here's what that leads to: chronic fatigue. Even if you sleep 8 hours on the clock, it still feels like 4 or 5 hours. Memory problems, you forget small things, find it harder to concentrate, and experience mental gaps. Increased risk of falls. This is especially serious for older adults. Every nighttime trip to the bathroom is a chance to trip, fall, or even break something. Weakened immunity. The body doesn't have time to recover, making you more prone to illness. Mood problems. Sleep directly affects the happiness hormones. Irritability, anxiety, and even depression can appear. Now imagine, all of this isn't because it's supposed to be that way, but because a few small habits are preventing your body from resting properly. I know people who for 10-15 years considered nighttime awakenings a natural part of aging. Then they made one small change and suddenly realized, wait, I could sleep through the night without interruptions? So the main takeaway: nighttime trips to the bathroom are not a sentence. They're a signal, and if you hear it and respond correctly, your quality of life changes dramatically. Now the most important part, let's go through the habits that most often cause nighttime awakenings. I'll share 5 of them, and you might be surprised at how simple and common they are. Maybe you'll even recognize some of your own evening routines. Habit 1. Excessive fluid intake before bed. Many people think, if I don't drink water an hour before sleep, it's fine. But it's not just about that last glass. Look at the evening as a whole. Dinner, soup or stew, then a cup of tea, sometimes even a fruit high in water content, like watermelon. All of this is fluid the body has to process. I know a 68-year-old woman who complained about waking up 4 or 5 times a night. She tried everything: less water, pills, even considered surgery. But when we looked at her evenings, it turned out she drank 2 cups of chamomile tea every night after 9 p.m. We just shifted the timing of her fluid intake, and within a couple of weeks, she slept almost the entire night without waking. A small change, huge result. Habit 2, late dinners and diuretic foods. Often, the problem isn't just water, but what we eat. Heard the word diuretics? These are substances that make the kidneys work harder and remove more fluid. Classic examples: cucumbers, watermelon, green tea, coffee, chocolate, celery. All these foods are healthy, but if you eat them in the evening, get ready for nighttime awakenings. Imagine a typical evening: dinner at 8 or 9 p.m., a salad with cucumbers and tomatoes, then a cup of green tea for lightness. Familiar? This is exactly what triggers nocturia. At night, the body actively removes fluid, and you find yourself walking across the cold floor to the bathroom again. Simple solution: move dinner to an earlier time. Remove diuretic foods from your evening menu. Habit 3, going to the bathroom just in case before bed. Seems logical, go before sleep so you don't wake up at night, but there's a downside. The bladder is a muscle. It remembers how often you empty it. If you train it to empty even without a strong urge, it starts sending alert signals more often, even with a small amount of urine. This creates a vicious cycle. The more often you go just in case, the more your body wakes you up at night. I know a woman who had been doing this for years. After guidance, she started going only when she truly needed to. Within a month, she slept 5-6 hours straight. Habit 4, improper sleep posture and unsuitable pillows. Few people realize that body position plays a huge role. Sleeping on your stomach or in a position that compresses your abdomen and bladder creates extra pressure. The brain gets a signal, time to go, even if the bladder isn't full. Another problem, pillows. If too high or too low, circulation is disrupted. Fluid pools in the legs during the day and returns to the bloodstream at night, overloading the kidneys. A simple change, like sleeping on your left side with a pillow between your knees, can produce amazing results in just a couple of weeks. Habit 5, room and sleepwear too warm. Many older adults like to sleep in warm pajamas, double blankets, and closed windows. Feels safe and cozy, right? But overheating is one of the hidden causes of nighttime awakenings. When the body is hot, circulation increases, and the kidneys start removing more fluid. Result, you wake up not only from heat, but also from the urge to use the bathroom. Solution: light cotton pajamas, fresh air in the room, temperature around 1820C, 6468F. Try it. You'll be surprised how much easier it is to sleep. So, we've gone through 5 habits. They may seem minor, but these small details determine whether you'll wake up at night or sleep peacefully until morning. In the next chapter, I'll share real stories of people who changed their habits and regained deep, uninterrupted sleep. When I tell people that nighttime awakenings are usually linked not to illness but to lifestyle, many are surprised. What? I've been drinking tea at night my whole life and it was fine, I often hear. The truth is, our bodies are incredibly patient. They can ignore our habits for a long time, but as we age, they start to present the bill. Let's look at the most common mistakes that steal our sleep and make us get up at night. 1. Late night drinks. tea, coffee, compote, soda, even plain water. Many think, what's wrong with a glass before bed? But it's not just about the fluid entering the body, the type of liquid matters. Caffeine in tea and coffee is a stimulant. It interferes with melatonin production, making sleep more superficial. Alcohol, like a glass of wine in the evening, may help you fall asleep faster but disrupts sleep structure. You fall asleep but wake up more often at night. Even soda or sweet juices put extra load on the kidneys, making them work harder. All of this adds up. At night, the body continues to fight excess fluid instead of resting. 2. Just in case. Bathroom trips. A familiar habit, going to the bathroom before bed even if you don't need to. It seems logical, but the brain gradually learns to interpret a full bladder as a signal of alarm even with a small amount. The result, it wakes you up at the slightest urge. 3. Overheating from blankets or room temperature. When we're too hot, the body tries to cool itself. One way is by removing extra fluid. That's why in summer, many people wake up more often at night. Sleeping in a too warm room or under heavy blankets makes the kidneys work harder. 4. Late dinners. Heavy meals, 1-2 hours before sleep, burden the entire body. Digestion uses energy. The stomach presses on the diaphragm, which indirectly affects the bladder. Plus, salty food retains water, forcing the kidneys to expel extra fluid at night. 5. Sedentary daytime. Little movement during the day means extra fluid pools in tissues. Legs swell, circulation slows, and by evening the body tries to get rid of this excess. When you lie down, fluid shifts upward, overloading the kidneys, resulting in a nighttime trip to the bathroom. 6. Evening medications and vitamins. Some medications have a diuretic effect. Even regular vitamin complexes sometimes contain substances that make the kidneys work harder. At first glance, you might think, so what? Waking up once or twice at night isn't a big deal, but let's look deeper. 1. Sleep phase disruption. Sleep consists of cycles: light sleep, deep sleep, and dream, REM phases. Each cycle lasts about 90 minutes. If you wake up, the cycle is interrupted. The body doesn't reach the phases where the most valuable restoration occurs. No deep sleep, the brain doesn't clear toxins. No REM sleep, memory isn't consolidated, emotions aren't processed. Result: irritability, fatigue, and a feeling of being wiped out. 2. Pressure on the heart and vessels. Each awakening is a stress event. Imagine the heart is supposed to work calmly at night, and suddenly it gets a sharp "wake up" signal. Blood pressure spikes, heart rate rises. For older adults, this is especially dangerous. 3. Risk of falls. Few think about this, but nighttime trips to the bathroom in the dark are a common cause of injuries among older adults. Darkness, a stumble, loss of balance, all because the body didn't allow for a full night's rest. 4. Chronic fatigue. When someone sleeps poorly for months, it affects everything. Mental fog, reduced productivity, poor mood, and most importantly, weakened immunity. A weak immune system opens the door to age-related illnesses. 5. Quality of life. Most importantly, nighttime awakenings steal a simple joy. Waking up in the morning in a good mood, it may seem small, but it determines whether the day is energetic and productive or sluggish and irritable. And here's the key question: can anything be changed? Yes, it can. Next, I'll share strategies that help most people reduce nighttime awakenings within just a few weeks, without medication, simply by adjusting habits. So we've understood why nighttime awakenings happen and which habits interfere with sleep. Now the most important question: what to do about it? I'll give a step-by-step strategy. These steps are simple, but they work best as a whole. One single tip rarely changes the situation, but their combination can work wonders. Step 1. Control your fluid intake. The first and most obvious step: avoid drinking large amounts in the evening, but there are some nuances. Drink enough water during the day. Don't wait until evening to catch up. Limit fluids 3-4 hours before bed. If you're very thirsty, take just a few small sips, not a full glass. Important: don't stop drinking water entirely. That's harmful. We're talking only about the evening period. Step 2. Check what you drink. Take a look at your evening beverages, coffee and tea. Avoid after lunch. Alcohol, limit, especially in the evening. Soda and juices, not the best choice either. The best evening option is plain water, in small amounts. Step 3. Light dinner. Another secret to deep sleep. Don't overload your stomach. Have dinner 3-4 hours before sleep. Avoid too much salt. It retains water. Heavy meat, fatty foods, smoked dishes, all make your body work at night instead of resting. Ideal dinner: light protein and vegetables. Step 4. Bedroom temperature. Many underestimate this, but overheating is one of the most common causes of nighttime awakenings. Optimal sleep temperature: 18-20 C, 64-68 F. Better, a thin blanket and warm pajamas rather than a heavy blanket in a stuffy room. Ventilate your bedroom before sleep. a must. Step 5. Movement during the day. If your day is mostly sedentary, your body will still try to expel excess fluid in the evening. Simple solution. Add at least 30-40 minutes of walking. Light stretching or gentle exercises in the evening improve circulation. Step 6. Evening habits. Avoid overstimulating your brain. Bright screens, stressful news, long work-related conversations all prevent your body from entering sleep mode. Most importantly, don't try to implement everything at once. Start with 1 or 2 steps. Once you notice a difference, add the rest. Many people make the mistake of trying for a couple of days, seeing no effect, and giving up. But remember, your body needs time to adjust. How to solidify new habits. Give your body time to adapt. Average adjustment, 2-3 weeks. During this time, it may feel like nothing is changing, but your body is learning new rules. Keep a sleep diary, a simple but very useful tool. Record when you went to bed, what you ate and drank in the evening, how many times you woke up at night. After a couple of weeks, patterns emerge. For example, more awakenings after a salty dinner or evening walks really helping minimize stress. Stress is often the hidden enemy of sleep. Simple relaxation techniques, breathing exercises, light meditation, or reading help reduce anxiety. Lighting. The brain is very sensitive to light. Turning on a bright light at night signals morning has come, then making it harder to fall asleep again. Solution: use a soft, warm nightlight. Consistency. The most powerful tool is a routine. Going to bed and waking up at the same time helps the body adjust. Nighttime awakenings then become much less frequent. Don't dramatize it. Sometimes you wake up once and immediately think, oh no, insomnia again. And the brain goes into overdrive. Simplest solution? Stay calm. Wake up, take a few deep breaths, and just relax. Most often, you'll fall back asleep naturally. When it comes to sleep and habits related to water, there are a lot of myths. Many of them prevent people from actually improving their sleep. Let's go through the most common ones. Myth 1, you need to drink water before bed to avoid dehydration at night. This sounds logical. If we drink in the evening, we'll wake up refreshed in the morning. But the body isn't that foolish. It regulates fluid balance very well. Nighttime losses are minimal, and if you've been drinking adequately during the day, you won't wake up thirsty. On the contrary, an extra glass before bed is almost a guarantee of waking up at night. Myth 2, waking up at night means you have insomnia. Not exactly. Research shows that most people naturally wake up at least once during the night. In ancient times, this was normal. People would get up, tend the fire, pray, or have a brief conversation and then go back to sleep. So waking up itself isn't dangerous. The problem arises when we panic, think about work, or start scrolling our phones. That's what turns a normal awakening into actual insomnia. Myth 3. Sleeping pills solve all problems. Yes, sleeping pills can help in critical situations, but they don't address the root cause of nighttime awakenings. Long-term use can lead to dependence and lower sleep quality. The real solution is always changing habits. Myth 4. If you drink a lot during the day, your body will retain water and you'll still have to get up at night. Actually, it's the opposite. When we don't drink enough during the day, the body tries to compensate in the evening. That's where the thirst before bed comes from. If water intake is steady throughout the day, there's little need to drink at night. Myth 5. Wine or beer helps you sleep better. Alcohol may knock you out, but that's not real sleep. More like a semi-conscious state. It disrupts sleep cycles, causing more nighttime awakenings and leaving you feeling groggy in the morning. Myth 6. If you wake up, it's best to turn on the light and move around to get tired again. This is almost always a mistake. Light signals to the brain that day has come, making it harder to fall asleep again. The best solution, a soft nightlight and calm breathing. To make this less theoretical, let's look at real-life stories that show nighttime awakenings are not a sentence. Story 1. Alexei, 42. Alexei woke up 3-4 times every night. First, he started keeping a sleep diary. After a week, he noticed most awakenings occurred after a late dinner. He changed his routine. Dinner at 7 p.m., light food, no excess salt. Result, within 2 weeks, he woke up at most once a night and sometimes slept through until morning. Story 2, Marina, 35. Marina drank tea in the evening because she thought it was relaxing. In fact, it contained caffeine. She switched to a caffeine-free herbal infusion. Within a few days, her awakenings became shorter, and after a month, they almost completely disappeared. Story 3, Sergey, 50. Sergey had blood pressure issues and woke up 5-6 times a night to use the bathroom. His doctor recommended tests, adjusted medications, and advised limiting evening fluids. Result? The frequency of awakenings was cut in half. Now he wakes up 1-2 times and sometimes sleeps through the night. Story 4, Alina, 27. Alina thought she had chronic insomnia. In reality, she fell asleep with her phone in hand. Every time she woke at night, she immediately reached for it. She removed the phone from the bedroom and used a regular alarm clock. Within 2 weeks, night awakenings decreased and sleep became deeper. Story 5, Victor, 60. Victor had frequent nighttime bathroom trips and thought it was age-related. A doctor checked his prostate and found mild inflammation. After treatment and habit adjustments, less evening fluid, daytime walks, his sleep improved significantly. These stories show that there's almost always a solution. The key is to identify the cause. Sometimes it's a simple habit, sometimes a medical factor, but in any case, sleep quality can be improved. We've already covered the theory, myths, and real-life stories. Now let's put everything into concrete steps. Imagine tonight you wake up again. What can you do today to prevent it? 1. Adjust your daytime drinking. The simplest habit: drink water throughout the day, not in the evening. Morning, a glass of clean water. During the day, small portions regularly. Evening, minimal intake. 2. Light dinner, heavy meals, meat, fried or spicy food, are almost guaranteed to disrupt sleep. Try to finish eating 3-4 hours before bed. Best options: vegetables, yogurt, a small portion of fish. 3. Avoid stimulants. Caffeine after lunch keeps your nervous system active even when your body wants to rest. Replace evening coffee with herbal tea or just warm water. 4. Create a bedtime ritual. Our brains love signals. Doing the same activity before bed, reading 10 minutes, listening to calm music, teaches the brain time to switch off. 5. Minimize light. Light from lamps, TV, or phones interferes with melatonin production. Evening, dim lighting. Night, use a soft night light. 6. Ventilate your bedroom. Fresh air helps the body enter deep sleep phases. Cool air prevents overheating, reducing the chance of waking up. 7. Remove your phone from the bedroom. Yes, it's hard, but it works. A smartphone is a major enemy of uninterrupted sleep. If you grab it during a night awakening, consider your sleep broken. Use a regular alarm clock and a book instead. 8. If you wake up, don't panic. Main rule: stay calm. The brain is very sensitive to anxiety. Lie down comfortably, take deep breaths, focus on your breathing. Sometimes a counting backwards technique helps. Slowly count from 100 to 1. 9. Monitor your health. If awakenings are constant and habits don't help, see a doctor. Causes may include blood pressure, hormonal changes, or prostate issues in men. The sooner you find the cause, the sooner normal sleep returns. Final summary. Nighttime awakenings are not a sentence. They are a signal from your body that something in your routine is off. Sometimes the cause is water, sometimes food, sometimes stress. But there is always a way to fix it. Key takeaways. Sleep is a basic need, not a luxury. Drink water during the day, not at night. Eat a light dinner on time for a peaceful night. Phones and bright lights in the evening only interfere. Even if you wake up at night, don't panic. Motivation for the viewer. Think about how often you wake up in the morning exhausted, wishing for a few more hours of sleep. Now you have tools to change that. Imagine waking up in a week feeling refreshed and full of energy without an alarm. Your day becomes more productive, your mood steadier, and your body thanks you. It's all possible. Just a little attention to yourself. So friends, take care of your sleep. Don't let nighttime awakenings steal your energy and mood, and everything is in your hands. Good night and sweet dreams.